What have I done? Throne, save me. What have I done?
What needed to be done?
Fulgrim heard the voice as a sibilant whisper in his ear, the breath of the speaker hot on his neck. He twisted his neck, but there was nothing to be seen, no unseen speaker or mysterious presence. "He's dead," whispered Fulgrim, the aching loss and guilt of his crime too monstrous to believe. "I killed him."
"Yes, you did. With your own hands you struck down your brother, he who had only thought well of you and fought faithfully with you through all the long years."
He was my brother."
"He was, and all he ever did was honor you."
The looming presence that surrounded him and spoke to him seemed to claw at his eyes with insubstantial fingers, and Fulgrim felt his mind wrenched into the realm of memory, seeing once again the battle against the Diasporex and the fist of iron coming to the rescue of the Firebird. He saw the resentment he had picked at for months, only now understanding the altruism of Ferrus Manus's deed and the loss of life his selfless act had incurred. Where before he had seen only self-aggrandizement in his brother's action, he now saw it for the heroic deed it had truly been. His brother's critical comments, the wounding darts meant to undermine him, he now saw had been jests, designed to puncture his self-importance and restore his humility. What he had perceived as Ferrus's prideful boasts and rash actions had been deeds of courage that he had spitefully dismissed. Ferrus's rejection of his attempt to betray him was the act of a true friend, but only now did he see how his brother had, even then, tried to save him. "No, no, no," wept Fulgrim as the true horror of what he had done struck him with the force of a thunderbolt. He looked around through tear-filled eyes and saw the horrific changes wrought upon his beloved legion, the perversions that masqueraded as Epicurean pleasure. "Everything I have done is ashes," he whispered, and swept up the golden fireblade, so recently wielded by his brother in an attempt to undo the evil Fulgrim had embraced. Fulgrim reversed the blade and held its fiery tip against his body, the edge blackening his hands and burning the skin through the rents torn in his armor. To end things now would be the easiest thing in the world, to take away the guilt and wash the pain away in a sharp thrust of steel into his vitals. Fulgrim gripped the sword tightly, drawing blood from his palms where the blade's edge sliced his skin.
"No, noble suicide is not for the likes of you, Fulgrim."
"Then what?" howled Fulgrim, hurling away the sword his brother had forged.
"Oblivion, the sweet emptiness of eternal peace. I can grant you what you crave, an end to guilt and pain."
Fulgrim rose to his feet and stood tall beneath the storm-racked clouds of Istvan V, his once beautiful face streaked with tears, and his pristine armor stained with the blood of his beloved brother. Fulgrim lifted his hands and looked at the blood there. "Oblivion," he said, his voice hoarse. "Yes, I crave the boon of nothingness."
"Then leave yourself open to me, and I will put an end to it all."
Fulgrim took a last look around. The grim-faced warriors who had foolishly thrown in their lot with the War Master, Marius, Julius, and thousands more were damned, and they could not see it. All around him he could hear the sounds of the future, of warfare and death. The thought that he shared the guilt of the destruction of the Emperor's dream was the greatest shame and sorrow he had ever known. An end to it all would be a blessed relief.
Oblivion,
he whispered as he closed his eyes. Do it. End me. The barriers in Fulgrim's mind dropped, and he felt the elation of a creature older than time as it poured into the void in his soul. No sooner had its touch claimed his flesh for its own than he knew he had made the worst mistake of his life. Fulgrim screamed as he fought to keep it out, but it was already too late. His consciousness was crushed into the dark, unused corners of his mind, forever to be a mute witness to the havoc wrought by his body's new master. One moment Fulgrim was a Primarch, one of the Emperor's children. The next, he was a thing of chaos.